to the words. I'm looking at his behaviors. His behaviors is off.
Yeah, but that's only what we see, though, Nurse P. Only a little bit of what we see. Well, okay, a perfect example. What if somebody catch you upset, right now,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah,
and,
they
and,
gonna
and record you, and record you.
and I'm crazy as hell. And they gonna catch the real nurse
But
people.
what if they only put that up there though?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
social
know,
media
but
is
why do he
powerful.
continue to project and put that out there though?
Because they
Yeah,
trigger him.
See?
Every interview, look at the questions they be asking
but
him.
I understand. But understand what she's saying though. Just because they trigger you, don't mean that you have to show them
Mhm.
that.
But he
You
don't
know
give
what
a
I'm
fuck at
saying?
this point. He don't like they are. It's so much stuff out at Kanye that probably don't give a fuck no more. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah,
understand. Like
yeah.
And that's my
Like a
point.
gym. And as far as like a Gemini go, y'all, I'm gonna say if I can get away, I'm good. But if I gotta deal with you and I can't go nowhere, oh, I'm finna let you. I'm finna show you what.
That's my
I'm gonna,
point. He don't give a fuck no more.
yeah, I guess that's what
but
it
but
is
if somebody
because
push you in a corner, Nurse P, like come on now.
But if
yeah,
you got
yeah.
kids,
Like
well, my point is kids. Would you trust somebody
they not
like
taking
that
his kids.
around
Ain't
your
nobody
children?
ever gonna take his kids.
I don't think he gonna do nothing to his kids. I
You
No,
really
I
never
don't
don't.
think
know.
so. No,
Yeah, I
We
don't think
see
he gonna
stuff
do
like
nothing
this
to his
every
kids.
day.
I
He
don't
got
think that he gonna do nothing to them kids at all. Like
he
y'all
know
think he crazy. All right,
he yeah
don't be
he
fooled.
he know he got too
Remember,
much
I
to
told
lose.
y'all.
He got way too much to lose. He got that
He not doing
school
nothing
and
to them
he
kids
not gonna do nothing to the kid. But I will
or
say
nobody
that
else's kids.
I don't want people to take it like Trump took advantage of Kanye. Kanye went to the White House with pure intentions, right? Kanye West did, right?
At first he
But
did. At
he
first.
did. What I think he did, but Trump was making fun of him on a cool, and I was catching all of this. I'm just like, you need to open up your third eye, Kanye, because this man is
It's
not
taking
who
advantage
he.
of
I
you.
knocked
Yeah,
myself off. I'm sorry.
You
yeah,
good?
because Trump was supposed to come in and bring balance. He did not do that. He thought that he could line up with these people, that people. That man only cares about himself. He don't care about nobody but himself
No, he and money.
and money and becoming this and that. That man is very selfish. He's very and hold on. Ain't Trump hold on, what sign is Trump?
Asshole.
Technically, he was not a Republican to start with. A lot of
Yeah,
people
he
don't know that.
wasn't.
He
Yeah,
wasn't.
he wasn't. You're right, because the Republicans was like, well, I
But
could do
guess
this
what
without
though?
him.
Guess what? I
But
respect Trump. I like Trump. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know people probably jump down my
I
throat.
like Trump too.
I like Trump.
Look,
Okay.
I didn't like Trump because he was a bad businessman. Everybody
I
said he was
take him
good,
right
but he
now
was
over what the fuck we
he
got.
wasn't. But hold on. But
Put
look,
him
I
back.
didn't like him. I'm telling you, it's not that people kept saying he was racist. That's not why I didn't like him.
But
It
he
was
was never
just
racist though. That's the thing
that's
about
what
it.
they kept saying. But look, this is what I say. Maybe he has some racial ways that he did speak about. He has. But my
We
thing is,
all
at
do
least,
though.
but
we
I'm
are,
I'm
but
just
just
I
saying,
think,
I'm saying at least he let it be known.
and
But
we
many
all
yeah,
of us
got
we don't
racial
see.
ways. I mean, if
That's
okay,
that's
right.
the case,
but
what?
here's the line you don't cross. He thought he could team up with the racists because
Hmm.
he thought they still had power in this country. They's like, well, if I team up with these racist people, they can get me on through the door. No, the reason why he won the first time is because people wanted to see balance. We seen that
Yeah.
stuff that happened down there in the
Well,
Caribbean
give
and
him
stuff
back
like that.
because look what's going on now. This would have
Yeah,
never
that's
happened.
true. But
He
no,
would have
if
never
you came up
allowed
here in
this shit to
Ohio,
happen.
if you came up
Now,
here in
what you
Ohio, you
talking
would see a
about?
different
Hold on,
aspect.
mama. Now you know he would have let Putin go up into the
Hmm.
Ukraine. Now Trump would have let that all that go down. It would
Okay,
have
but
been no
listen though,
pushback.
Trump is a real nigga though. Is what y'all really.
No,
Trump acts like a black
Trump
nigga.
is
That's what he act
selfish.
like to me.
Trump is selfish. Trump
He's
don't care
selfish.
nobody about nobody. He would have
He
let
said, "Kill
Putin
it,
because
kill them all." He said, "Let's go to war."
no,
He
I'm
don't.
weak.
He'll throw his
but
own
he
kids
pointed
under
the
the bus.
finger. Hold on, he pointed the finger at Hillary for stuff he participated in. How you gonna point
Hmm.
the finger at Hillary? Hillary was
I
smart. She
agree.
kept her mouth shut.
Don't
Trump was
that sound like a
selfish,
nigga to you?
No,
but
Hillary is
no, Trump
actually not.
know he out of line. Trump
I
Well,
know
I
don't.
he
mean,
I
but
out of
didn't. I
line.
just
everybody
don't
ain't
like a
nobody
lot of shit.
perfect. Ain't nobody. I can tell you
It
this much.
ain't.
I
I
can
don't
tell you
like
this
none
much.
of them.
I can tell you this much. All that's going on right now wouldn't be going on if he was still in
Yes,
office.
it would because
No,
I don't
no,
even
think
it
in
would
this,
so.
have
it
no,
would.
it would have been Trump if Trump would have got in there, he would have did everything Orwellian. He would have got back at everybody that talked about him. He was
Hmm.
talking about giving people food in a box. You know, it would have
Yes.
been riots in the streets. He wanted to get
You
rid
think
of
so?
Yes,
That's what he
Trump
said.
wanted
But
to
Man,
you
get
got
rid.
I feel like he let hella shit ride. I feel like with all that PPP loans, I feel like he was letting all that shit
he
ride.
was doing that on purpose because look how much
Yeah,
stuff like Biden.
yeah.
Biden ain't the best president. Trust me.
But that
I
helped
ain't
a lot
like
of
him
black
either.
people though. But that
I ain't
helped a
like
lot
of
of
course
black
he,
people.
but you
So
gotta
PPP,
look.
but
He
you
gotta
still gonna
clean
go to
up what
jail.
he done did.
The thing is about Kanye and these presidents y'all talking about, they're all puppets. You know that, right?
Yeah, they all puppets. Yeah, they all
I
puppets.
don't
Yeah.
like none of them.
To a certain extent, you can argue that everyone's a puppet, but that's neither here nor
Mhm,
there.
mhm.
That's cutting the conversation very short to say that he's just a puppet. It's like calling him crazy. That it's cutting it very short. See, Kanye did not see when Kanye made that move to live beside his to live beside Kim.
I agree, D Dot. I agree with that. He was very Americanized. I respect it.
Kanye West. Never mind, y'all got it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I cut you off, honey.
It's all good.
I didn't mean to.
I ain't tripping, but I just don't want I want to start trying to shout over each other. So I wanted the the audio. You want the audio to be as good as you possibly can.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm
Kanye
going. I'm going mute.
Kanye West moving beside Kim Kardashian, he literally said he did not want his kids to be done like he was done. He said that he was taken away from his father at a young age. And whoever knew that Kanye's father was still alive, Kanye West has a father throughout. He's actually his father throughout all that he's doing now. For him to have the confidence to be able to say and do the things he's doing now has nothing to do with Candace Owens. I think Candace Owens is just a front job for what him and his father are actually doing. They're trying to change laws on fathers being able to be with their kids, custody and a bunch of things just going directly to the mother, and she's having sex with random strangers that do heroin and tattoo their children's names on them around his kids. That's what he's angry about, and that's going to seem crazy to people. Because
No,
You know
it's
what?
not. But that's not what
What
I'm talking
now?
about. See, and that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between y'all listening to his words, and I get that totally. But I'm not even talking about that part. I'm talking about the part where he said fentanyl killed George Floyd, which is false.
He
Instead
out
of
of
that,
line for that.
officer's foot on his neck.
Yeah, he out
fentanyl,
of line.
fentanyl did kill George Floyd.
The
And
George,
then
Fentanyl did kill George Floyd. George Floyd had a heart attack. Now, the primary thing
Hold
that he
on,
had,
you know he did not have a heart attack. You're
the,
wrong.
not a media
hold
lies.
on, but the autopsy said he did have a heart attack, and the
What is
primary reason.
cardiopulmonary asphyxia?
Well,
I'm a nurse. I'm a
how
nurse.
do
I
you get
know.
how do you get pulmonary disease without having heart disease? So
How
he had
no? How
underlying
do
heart
what is
disease.
cardio? No, see, you're wrong.
Okay,
Cardiopulmonary asphyxia is asphyxiation.
Attack. It's an attack.
Your heart goes on to overload. He went into
Yeah,
cardio
it's like an
resuscitation.
asthma attack, but it's your
It's
heart.
like asthma attack. Your heart has you have to have
The
oxygenated.
police
Your
did
heart
that. The police
has
did that. Yeah.
oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. He could not breathe.
It's like an extreme anxiety attack, but it
So
attacks your heart.
his organs had to overcompensate. When your organs are shutting down, the important ones gonna compensate for the ones that are not working. So that's why he was made to go into a cardiac arrest, which was due to asphyxia. And again,
well, we can all agree.
11 nanograms, if you look it up, 11 nanograms of fentanyl is not a lethal dose of fentanyl. It's
But
not
we can
enough
all
to
agree
kill.
the police
But
did that.
it could trigger a heart attack.
No, it
the
can't.
whole
Now
police,
it was
the whole
asphyxia. Read the octa. It was asphyxia.
the whole police thing was friends way. At first, the media pushed agendas and lies. So that's where I don't believe the media. They lie too much.
And actually, I'm gonna keep it real. The fentanyl was not introduced into his initial autopsy report that I
And
read.
either way it
It was
goes,
not there.
even if fentanyl has something to do with it, the police still triggered
They
it. So
did it. Yes,
now
they
I
did
will
because they
agree.
caused.
I will agree that I will agree with that. Now, even though he had the fentanyl in the system, which put him at a respiratory,
right,
it decreases respirations, which can put you at risk for having those
right,
cardiopulmonary issues. But the police did exacerbate it by
yeah.
fighting with him.
So who
Putting
They
knows though,
they
Nurse P? That could be
exacerbated. They
part of it.
caused it.
Yeah,
They,
but
I
right.
yeah.
seen that man. I watched that video over and over. And in my opinion, the damn paramedic should have been charged just like that damn officer because I literally counted and watched that man drew from the mouth and was pleading for them to get off his neck,
Well,
and
that's
he
And,
was
and
sitting
then,
there.
and
The
then
whole
because
the whole police man thing was
hold on.
friends.
That's a good thing, Murphy, because now they're trying to prosecute healthcare providers that actually
That they know in that case they should be prosecuted.
And they
And
should
I
be. They
am a
should be.
I'm a nurse. I'm telling you they should. What I seen witness in that video, those people should absolutely the ones that were sitting there, standing there, watching that officers knee on his neck and didn't do shit and didn't say shit. They need to be prosecuted because they, as a healthcare provider, they know how many minutes,
Under
how many,
negligence.
how his breath started
Uh,
to get
Yeah, they
shallow and
authorized. Yep,
everything.
yep.
sorry to burst your
But
balls there, but
at the
Even
same,
off duty,
them
even if they was
officers,
off duty, they still can get in trouble for that.
Yes, you
that
yeah, but
can
at the
because even
same,
hold on,
that officer,
I have tags on my car that's personalized and they say Nurse P. Those are my tags. They say Nurse P.
Even
By
if you
me having
off
those
duty, you still
personalized
supposed to
tags,
give care. Even if you off duty, you still give
yes,
care.
even if you're off duty, if I pass by an accident and I see there's no medical professionals there, but if I see somebody's hurt and
You
let
always
anybody
on
get
duty.
with that
Yeah.
I was in the area or around and I passed by, I could be prosecuted.
Mm-hmm.
past, I see that you probably that you coincide with Candace Owens, but Candace Owens says a lot of
I ain't even worried about the
all white.
political stuff. I'm just mad about this George Floyd thing. Y'all can have the
the
political
whole
stuff.
George
No, no,
Floyd
but he
thing was
just
a
said,
setup. The police officer and him are Freemasons. Y'all didn't even know that. You don't even
well,
know
Well,
but
that.
yeah,
maybe
I don't care.
so.
I said I got family
We did
members
know
that
that, but
have
we
been
did know
chemically
that, but
dependent.
that's
That's
neither
either
here
here or
nor
there,
there.
but that don't get that right for them to take a man's life.
Now that was wrong,
Uh,
but
like like I
but
said,
I
Story
you
of
don't
our life,
understand the
Nurse
whole
Peter.
conspiracy thing. You don't understand on it. You just looking at the outside of it.
It's a
but
story
I
of
mean,
our
but
life.
it's conspiracies and everything,
You
It's a
know how much
conspiracy
stuff.
in everything we
You
do.
know
and,
how much stuff
and,
is not. You know my cousin got killed 2 weeks ago. Do you know that
I'm sorry to hear that.
we had to fight to get it on the news?
I
You
am
know that
very aware. Look, I am
The
very
reason,
aware about
wait,
conspiracy theories, okay, and what's going on in this world. My oldest brother, my half brother, passed away the day after Kobe Bryant did, and my brother was only 47 years old. He had
I'm in
no
the chat,
medical
y'all. I gotta
issues
make my
at
meatloaf.
all. He had no medical issues at all. Found him dead on the floor in his bathroom. And we were told at first we could not get an autopsy on him. And this when that whole whatever the pandemic started, and I know that's what took my brother out because he signs and symptoms. He had walked to the Staples Center, which was 4 miles away from his house, the day before and back because Kobe died. There was nothing wrong with this man, and they said he died of natural causes. So I know what conspiracy is. I know all of this, but I'm not even talking about political stuff because I get it. I know about it. I know you don't believe what you see or hear. I know my dad was, he taught us that. But what
yeah,
I'm saying about this shit with George Floyd, that's
but
the
I don't
topic
like,
I'm on
but
with
see the
Kanye.
thing. But see, what I'm saying, think about Candace Owens plays identity politics. Candace Owens said that man, the reason why they happened to that man, basically summed it up and said that man was on drugs and
That bitch
he was a
retarded. I'm sorry.
this is the kind of people that Kanye West is teaming up with, and he's not realizing
See?
these people is playing you for their agenda,
Of
Kanye.
course,
And
yeah,
you need
exactly.
to
You're right.
understand that. You need to understand that. You need to understand Candace Owens is making money. I'm like, girl, you ain't made enough money yet because you pushing
But
this
see, you ain't
agenda.
looking at that Kanye. See, if we're gonna look at it from that aspect, and I'm okay, I'm gonna turn off what I was mad about with George Floyd because that's what I came up here for was him. But if we're gonna look at the political aspect, and you said Candace Owens is using Kanye West. Kanye West is playing chess. He's using her as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
you right. You right.
He's
You
using
right.
her as
Now
her as well. I see it.
I understand. Now,
Salute to
I
Mouthpiece,
understand.
salute to Quincy, salute, and yeah, go ahead.
But I understand that, we can't, as black people, we can't worry about the past. We got to move forward. Okay, yes, we understand that we've been moving forward. If it weren't for us, America would have never got off the ground. Well, America would have never became the powerhouse that it is today. But we're saying is that because of slavery, they didn't do a reconstruction, because of these black towns that got burned to the ground in the 1920s and 30s, we deserve some kind of reparations on the federal level. That's all we saying at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And Candace Owens, I don't even know if she is a descendant from slavery. I don't know. I know Obama ain't, but Michelle is. So what I'm saying is the whole picture is that Native Americans got reparations, the people of Japan got reparations, the Jews got reparations. So it's due that the descendants of slaveries and their kids and their descendants that still living it can enjoy some kind of reparations of what everybody else got.
But what
Now, Candace,
determines you to get those reparations?
what? Okay, what
What do you have
determines?
to prove to get those
Well, the
reparations?
Native Americans did it. You had to prove what tribe you came from, but
But how do
they
you
can
do
go.
that if you don't know exactly what tribe you come from? I'm gonna tell you in my case, if you seen my profile pic, Shano keeps joking and said my daddy looks white. My dad is African American. I know my whole ancestry. I was one of the lucky ones. It was passed down from generation to generation. My grandma had everybody's names and birthdays in her Bible, and it was passed down from generation to generation. I know my descendants come from Sierra Leone, Africa. But if you look at me, you will swear up and down I'm mixed, and it's not a mixed bone in me. But some
Well,
people are not fortunate enough no matter how dark melanated their skin may be, they do not know where they came from. So how you gonna prove what tribe
black come
you
in many
belong to
colors.
if you don't know where you came from?
But black come in many colors. What I'm saying is that the
Now I'm
government can
saying I
use
said melanated.
ancestry. But melanin, but black comes in many colors. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They have DNA. They can have they
that's
ancestry.
not. But see,
They
them
can go
DNA
past
stuff ain't
your.
completely 100% accurate. Cause me and my sister, our blood sister, like I said, I got two half brothers. Me and I have three blood sisters, same mother, same father. We did that DNA thing, and guess what? It came back differently. So that I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
No, I
That
follow
they
the
they
Bible.
they try
Right.
to do what they want you to believe. To me, with that, if
Well,
it's
Mm,
nothing like your ancestry being passed down from generation to generation.
the government know who came from
nah, the government lies,
who's
man.
the ancestor. The
How do y'all
government know
believe the
who's the
government
ancestor.
lies so much? They
They
lie.
do lie.
They do lie, but I mean, you got to dig
Nah,
in
I
and
don't
do your
believe nothing what the
research.
government
That's what
says.
I'm saying.
Look,
I'm on this shit Kanye about George Floyd. But what I'm saying is everybody equate when I say crazy, I might be saying stupid. No, I listen to stuff crazy people say. I listen to words
Oh
because
yeah.
I grew up around crazy people. I tell y'all I'm
he was
crazy.
speaking the truth. Kanye was speaking the truth about
But
what's
The
going
flat
on and
power
stuff.
would have
I
been.
look at behaviors also. That's what I'm trying to tell
But
y'all. And
Kanye
like you
ain't
said,
saying
he
the
using
right
Candace
stuff.
Owens. Candace Owens using
Nah,
him.
he ain't crazy.
Kanye's
Kanye
using
ain't crazy.
Candace Owens.
And Trump used him too. Okay, but what I'm saying is that you sitting here and you know the history of black people. You know, then you even said Bush don't care about black people. So what I'm saying is that Kanye West, if you gonna do
George
that, then
George
Kanye
Bush
West, you
is
need to
part of that
do
secret group.
official reparations
All those
for the
presidents, they
descendants
part of that secret
too.
group.
But
If you gonna push the stuff.
what I'm saying is what determines that we get these reparations? What determines it?
I
You
mean,
know
the
they always
government.
find a loophole out of no hole.
Well, the government can go back and see who came from
The
descendants. Who
government ain't
came.
gonna
The
see that.
government
They ain't gonna
lies.
do that. They're gonna lie. That's what I'm saying.
Are you that blind? The government lies so much. Are you that blind? Like you can't see it?
I mean, what you mean by blind though? Because if you looking at blind, you understand that. Okay, I can't talk about a lot of this stuff I want to talk about. It's some things I can't say while I'm on here. But like I say, like this, if you look at a lot of the things that's on the news and history, they lie
I
about
don't believe
history.
what the media said. The media is lying to lie. They push agendas and lies.
Yeah,
I
they
don't,
lie. That's why it's important to
I don't
have
watch
people in
TV. I
your
don't
life
watch
to tell
TV.
you
I
the
don't.
truth.
So why
Yeah.
come the media?
Elders to tell you the truth.
So why come the media can't be lying about Kanye?
I didn't say they weren't lying. See, that's where you're different. I didn't say they were lying about Kanye.
I
I'm
think they
disagreeing
are.
about what I heard come out of Kanye's mouth about George Floyd. That's the only thing you heard me say anything about when it comes to him and his behaviors
But
as of late.
I agree. I agree with you. So I agree with you to the about. Did the police have something to do? Well, let's say
That had
hypothetically,
everything to do. I'm telling you, read
they
that.
had a
I'm
lot
telling
more.
about medical standpoint, reading that autopsy report. Yeah, he might have had some chemical dependency
Mhm.
issues. I'm not saying that, but that's not
And
what
he might
caused
have
his
been
death.
on drugs that day. He might be on drugs, but the police still did that.
They were both Freemasons. That police officer he knew, they were both Freemasons. Y'all didn't even know
But
that.
that wouldn't have caused his death
Because
that
the
day.
But who
Freemasons
cares
still do
about them being
drugs and still
Freemasons though?
the Freemasons still do
You
drugs
don't
and
care
still
about it because it's not important.
Freemasons still do drugs and still choke each other out. So like
Yes,
organized like shit.
but what I'm saying
Organizations don't
is,
matter.
if it wasn't for that foot, that knee on his neck, he might potentially still be alive today. He didn't just. My point is, he didn't just walk down the street and fall out and die.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean,
I get you. I get you. That they didn't have like no Narcan or anything like that because he was out here on
They didn't need any
fentanyl.
Narcan. He didn't have the level of fentanyl to even give Narcan to.
So So
So,
with
but
that being,
He only had look. He only had 11. If y'all look this up for yourself, he only had 11 nanograms of fentanyl in his system. Meaning, if he did some drugs, it was not right then and there. It was not even in the same day. Look it up. 11
yeah,
nanograms.
that could have been like 2 days ago. Technically, if we look at that lower amount.
11
Maybe
nanograms. That wasn't even enough to even give Narcan for.
Mm.
yeah,
But we
I
don't.
mean,
But the thing about it is, we don't. What they're trying to argue is we don't know the consistent, with the overall use of it, which gave him an underlying heart condition, which made him susceptible to being to
But it didn't
die.
have that he had in a large heart. I read that he didn't have in a large heart that will have been caused, but most, including my uncle, is caused by years of chemical dependency and years of other abuse. Even when you overeat, when you have high blood pressure, which is prevalent in the melanated community, it enlarges your heart, causing
oh yeah.
pulmonary issues. So, but he died of cardio pulmonary, keyword pulmonary, meaning to breathe, cardiopulmonary arrest. And that happened due to asphyxia, which means suffocation. He was literally suffocated to death.
And
11
it's
nanograms of fentanyl would not have done that.
and I would say this. It's sad that you have Candace Owens and Kanye West trying to minimize what happened, but at the end of the day, you cannot say that the police should have handled things better. And
I
you can
can't even say that the police shouldn't have had nothing to do. Like, even if he was having psych issues, which most people, most, I'm not saying all, most people with acute chemical dependency, they self-medicate, like I said. So usually in that case, if they're in a manic state, which I disagree, the police shouldn't have nothing to do with them because they don't have any premises on how to deal
well,
with people like
they
that.
got called up there because they say he
I
had some
know they
fake
did. I
money.
know he did. Because, but then if they see, even in this area, I'm in Cleveland, I'm telling you, they don't know how to handle people like that. They have something called mobile crisis here.
Yeah,
And
they
that's slim to none. They're closing
They're supposed
all
to stay up.
the mental health facilities, shutting down all the mental health services for people and allowing the police to take care of it. And that's not the way to do it.
Well,
That's not the way to do it.
it's not the way to do it, but yeah, at that too. But like I'm saying, and I know a lot of people gonna hate me for this, but it is what it is. I think slavery, Christianity, and drugs. That's why we need messed up our people. Slavery, Christianity, and drugs messed up our people, and that's why we need our reparations.
Well,
But
so
what is reparations gonna
I
do
think the
though? I'm just
argument.
saying.
Okay, it's going okay.
Police.
So the Native Americans they get to go to school for free, and they get their checks at once. I think it's like I don't know. They get once a month and once a
Okay,
See,
year.
but
I agree
Yeah.
with you with that. But
I
okay,
agree.
so you
I
saying a
agree with the
person with
slavery.
chemical dependency is gonna stop all of a sudden because they
Yeah,
have
I
reparations?
agree. I agree with the slavery, but as far as the codependency and them being strung out, they did that shit on their own. But
Yeah,
Well,
but
when
okay,
I was strung out on it,
but
when
it
I
was
was strung out on
but
drugs, I did that to my goddamn self. So I can't
well.
blame nobody but myself.
I was born in the '80s, and our parents got on crack because it was a new drug out, and
They did to
a lot of
themselves.
families got messed up behind it. But what I'm trying to say is that
But that
we
was
need.
their fault, though. It was their fault. It wasn't.
yeah, because my
I mean,
parents didn't
true
do it.
enough,
Mhm.
they put it out there. They put it out there. I mean, they can come up.
Yeah,
You don't got votes, but it was their fault. They decided to make it a party drug. They that's their self. Just
just
like
like the
me,
fentanyl
I
right
got
now.
I got strung out on the same shit. But I can't blame no motherfucking body but my goddamn self.
But okay,
Exactly.
so why is
And
it
when,
now that
but look,
people?
when I started blaming myself, 10 years later, I've been clean and fucking free since.
Congratulations,
Okay,
Shannon. Because
well,
my
congratulations.
uncle is still struggling. 38. I'm 38, over 30, almost 40 years, and he done had a stroke and still continues to relapse.
Right.
So
Well, see, we
I
can't,
know.
and I talked about that earlier this morning. So we can't blame Walt Disney. We can't even blame conspiracy. We can't blame Kanye. We can't blame none of these figures. We got to look at
Mm-mm.
our own individual self. Because I think Kanye West is bringing up. We got a lot of family issues. We have father issues. We
Mm-hmm.
have drugs. We have we have. I think we have more depression than actual real
They do.
psychological issues. We just depressed as a
Well, I
society.
well,
We have
But you know,
I think a
depression
lot
is a
of that,
psychological issue.
and I think it's trauma
Depression,
too,
I think
y'all. It's
depression. I
trauma
think
too
depression.
because
Hold on.
depression,
I think
self-hate,
depression.
all of
I
that.
think depression is the only psychological issue that you can actually cure. That's the reason why I think
Not
that.
always, though. Sometimes it's
Uh,
physical.
I mean,
Depression
but
can impact you physically.
well, and also
I
trauma.
agree, but I also think it can
Yeah,
be
the
cured. I think it's one of the few mental health diseases that you can actually cure, and I think that a lot of our
It,
progressed mental health issues are underlining depression. That if we could cure the depression, then I think we can help this country. That's
No,
all.
I
I
agree with
mean,
that,
I
and that
but they're
will
comes from
not going to do
say,
it.
slavery. It
See,
comes
what
from
y'all got to
slavery.
realize too, healthcare is a business. I tell everybody this. At the end of the day, if I didn't have any patients to take care of, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't have a business. Healthcare is a business.
But we talking about the stuff that was afflicted on our people not being. It wasn't our
But
choice.
you're saying
the thing is,
reparations. So my thing is about the reparations. I agree with it, but you're saying that it's going to solve people with chemical. How's that going to solve? That's going to make it worse. That's going
Because
to make them
but
be
but
have.
but but
To me,
what?
if somebody's chemical dependent, they have more access to more money to go get more substance to go
No,
abuse.
because the rich people go to treatment centers like by the ocean. They
oh my
have these treatment
god, like
$14,000.
what?
They not gonna send us to the
Oh,
same treatment. That's didn't you just hear I said it's a distinct I work with mental health every day. Like Asia, she was one of the select few that her family was able to navigate through this healthcare field. Same thing with me. I have a sister with bipolar. If I didn't know what to say or what to do, she wouldn't have got the treatment she got. That don't matter about money. I'm telling you, it's a melanated, not a melanated issue. They don't give a damn how much money you got. They might treat you better for the as present time, but they don't give a damn. They're gonna find some kind of loophole to give
No,
you
they
the
don't.
same
so
messed
do
up
you think?
medication
So
that
so
they
you
want to give you.
do you think because we have these big old jails, right? Do you think they need big old treatment centers like rehab
No,
centers like
I
they
think
have
they
these
need
jails?
more. They need to treat the whatever whatever our mental health issue.
Well, I because the rehab centers they have now is they it's like dark. It's darkness up in there. The
It's
No,
not
rehab
even that. It's the medications. I'm keep
these are
trying to tell you.
these are
It's the
but
drug these
distinct.
are drug mills. They're not rehab centers.
Yes,
You can't cure you can't cure you can't cure methamphetamine issues with methadone. We've tried that shit. You can't
exactly.
do it. You
okay.
just can't
So
do it.
so so if it's a non-violent drug crime and they relapse and they
What do
can't
you
get
mean
get
by
out of that.
nonviolent drug crime? But see, reparations, you killing yourself. That's what I'm saying.
But see that see when our people talk like that, then that's like
It
okay,
ain't
so
talking like
we ain't
that.
gonna
I
do right
live
when
that.
we
That's why I keep telling you.
but
Look,
that's what
I've been going through this my whole life. I deal with mental issues. It's not just that I went to school and I read up on it. I lived through it. I know both sides of what you're talking about. And what I'm telling you, as being a melanated nurse and dealing with both black and white mental patients, or melanated. You say black is a color. Black and melanin. Well, whatever. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say. Black and white mental patients. Caucasian. It's a distinct. It's a distinct difference on how we get medicated as opposed as they get medicated. Point blank, and how they get treated. Period.
They
okay,
treat
so
they treat us
but
worse,
ma'am,
way
but
worse
ma'am,
compared to
you
what they're doing,
understand,
and that's the
but
problem
ma'am,
people don't see.
Well, I don't know because
but
I'm a nurse as well too, but I work in trauma. I work in trauma, not so we deal with a lot of.
But in trauma, you see some mental state. You get some
Mhm,
mental cases that come
mhm.
through you that they put in there with sitters.
But we
but
treat them. But the thing about our treatment is, our treatment is not effective. What we do is we B-52 and we pretty much bomb them. We take them down so that
Exactly.
they can't be a harm to themselves or others. And
Exactly.
that's
But
a
see,
fucked up
that's what
thing to
you
say.
have to do to
It's
treat
a
them. But
fuck.
see,
It's a
when they
fucked
get
up
to
thing to say, but that's what we do.
but it's the truth. But when they get to when our people, when I mean melanated people, get to them inpatient centers for the most part, they continue to put them down. They
Yeah,
but that,
look and act like zombies. They don't. That's why they don't want to take the medication when they leave those facilities. Would you want to take something that you don't feel like yourself? They got you
no,
drooling and your
no,
No,
but that's
muscles
what I'm
is
I
saying,
don't like I
ma'am.
don't like
contracted.
That's what I'm
I don't like
saying, ma'am.
Thorazine. I don't like Thorazine. I don't like Geodine. I don't like
I don't
Zistaril.
like Depakote. I
I
don't
don't
like
like
none of that.
Depakote. I don't like. I hate
Okay,
Depakote. Depakote.
so
What
but
Depakote
I'm
does to
talking
people,
about I
what
was
Depakote does to people is insane. These SSRIs, and I think that we're doing with SSRIs in reality too. Because
Mm-hmm.
I look at SSRIs as
Mm-hmm.
serotonin selected
Mm-hmm.
released
Mm-hmm.
information.
Mm-hmm.
It's
There you go.
serotonin selective released information.
There
And
you
it's
go.
controlling
There
how
you
we
go.
think
Thank
as
you.
people. And now they're just doing it in a pill form too.
but
But
what
see,
I'm
most of
saying,
the time, that is what they're giving our melanated people. I could tell you, and this not violate no hippie for somebody go say that bullshit because I ain't saying no patient name. For the most part, my Caucasian patients that I had passed and right now are not prescribed any SSRIs. It's our African American people.
Yep,
and we have to
they
change
give
that.
white people antidepressants, but they
Hmm.
Yeah,
specifically
we
give
have
us
to change that.
SSRIs.
But
And SSRIs kind of plays with the chemical makeup of the
Hmm.
receptors of your brain,
Hmm.
and
Exactly.
it's very and it what it does is it opens up the sensors to serotonin, so your body, so your mind attaches to serotonin, and serotonin is
Hmm.
serotonin, melatonin, these form of
Hmm.
chemicals that aid in sleep, aid in REM sleep, take
Hmm.
your ass all the way down. And
Exactly.
it's God knows, man. We got to get out of this shit. We got to get
Mhm,
out.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm serious. Everything else, I don't care. I was just disagreeing about the George Floyd thing, but I'm telling you, I done lived it. I worked in it. It's an attack on our people with these mental health drugs, for real. That's why they don't want to take it. That's why we having all the chemical dependency problems for the most part. Why am I
yeah,
gonna take something to make me look like a zombie, feel like a zombie? And they're trying to treat their mental health illness with street drugs or alcohol. I
but
see it every
And
day.
let's talk about it.
but
Let's talk
that's
about your dick. Don't your dick? They talk about the fact that they dicks don't work. The women talk about the fact that they pussies won't get wet.
Hmm.
okay.
Because
See,
and then like some drugs, like I was saying, they're giving our melanated people. Okay,
okay,
like
but
women per se. Why am I going to continue to let you inject me with something that made me gain 150 to 200 pounds? I see that in a lot of our African American women.
It drives your libido to the floor.
Hmm.
So it also can be population control too,
Hmm.
because
And it's all of
you
it.
won't make
I
babies.
think, but I don't know, because them rich people, when they want to get, they pay $14,000
Oh
and
my
go to a treatment by
god.
the ocean.
See?
But that's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying. You got to
gosh.
purify your mind, body, and spirit when you're trying to get off drugs. I don't know. I ain't
But
never
how
been
you gonna get
addicted.
everybody to do that just because they're getting reparations?
No, but that's what I'm saying. You
I'm not
saying
saying
that
they're not entitled to them. Don't get me
do
wrong.
it.
I ain't saying we're
Okay.
not entitled to them. If you're entitled to them, we need them. Yes, we do. I know I need mine. But the point
Uh-uh.
is, if the people with chemical dependency get them, you think that's gonna rectify the situation or make it worse?
I think it's gonna make it worse, but it might, that we could tell, hey, you need to go to rehab. You need to go to a good facility
A
because
person that you tell to go to rehab is not gonna go to rehab until they know and think in their heart and they spirit. You can tell a person to go to rehab. You can make them go to rehab. They're
yeah,
not going to get clean unless they want to get clean.
Well,
yeah,
how do
and
y'all think
so
people end up on a vilified symbol to Zoloft? Zoloft can even be taken by pregnant women that are breastfeeding their
Mm-hmm.
children too, and they say that it
Mm-hmm.
causes cognitive issues or no autism
Mm-hmm.
for children, but I don't know if that's true or not.
It's true.
So the
what
thing about this, if so, and well, right now we need to really talk about this because we're going into the fall and the winter. You know what happens in the fall and the winter? Seasonal. Effect.
Depressive disorder.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
we're literally going into this right now. Winter is coming. It's
Mm-hmm.
coming.
Yeah, and I think the best rehab for some of these people is jail. Like that's what
Oh
No.
my
It was for
god.
me. I ain't gonna lie.
No.
It
I'm
was
telling
for
nobody
me.
say because then you can't
Hell
get through
no.
It
it.
was for
Cause I
me.
know when
I
my
ain't gonna
mama was
lie.
locked up. No, when my mama was locked up, I knew she couldn't
What
get
is
hold
locked up
for him.
gonna do? What is
It
me
kept
I
me
think
clean
physically
and
being
sober.
locked up gonna do? And I'm locked
because
up
you
in my
can't.
mind already.
Hold on. Let me speak on that. Hey, I gotta kind of agree with Snowden on that because I was strung out on them drugs bad, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. And sometimes that was the only thing that could save me to settle
Okay,
my
but
ass
okay,
down.
Channel, can I ask you this? But when you got out, because my uncle had
I
been
still
locked up
needed help.
several times. When you got out, you had to make the conscious decision that you wanted to do with stay clean, right?
Right.
That had to be your decision. But if you got out, it was certain triggers that if you didn't have a conscious decision to stay clean, you wouldn't have. And you can even get drugs in jail. So you had to make that decision
Yeah.
that you wanted to stay clean. Let's
It,
keep it
it, it
real.
wasn't even it got to a point with me, it wasn't even about the triggers. I just got tired and I got tired of this shit and I want
See?
to do something
Well,
better.
those little flavor
The
pack.
triggers didn't even matter no more. Fuck
But
them.
if you want, let's put this in there. If you was not tired and you want to really get access to drugs, even in jail, you could have access to them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I think they
I
give
done
people
seen
they
all
give
type of
people
drugs. I done seen
serotonin.
crack in jail. I done seen weed in jail. I done seen cigarettes. I done seen all kind of shit in jail.
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny. When I was in jail, I ain't touched that shit. I probably smoked weed. I smoked a bunch of cigarettes, but I probably smoked weed like one time in jail. All the other drugs, I ain't even touched that shit.
Well, they talked about in Alabama, because Alabama has one of the worst penitentiary systems. They talked about how they were involuntarily giving those guys serotonin, which is Zoloft, which is an antidepressant.
Yep.
Oh
The
yeah,
mood stabilizer.
absolutely. Well, let me tell you something. You get peeled out in that bitch in jail, man, dude. It's like a pill factory in that motherfucker. Do you hear me?
Yes.
I done seen more pills in jail than I did on the street.
And I
Well, the
tell
biggest, the
everybody,
biggest thing
whatever
though.
drugs y'all partake in, I've been hearing. I never did it, but my sister blew my mind away. She was talking about these ecstasy pills because we had a conversation the other day because I done had two classmates, and that's young, that died at 36 and 38 years old, died in the past month because of these fake X pills that's going around in Ohio. I was not aware. She educated me on something today because I didn't know about much about X pills. I don't know much about. My sister called me a square.
Well,
I
they
don't
can
know
make you
much about street
retarded.
drugs.
I think it takes them
And
out.
she said that usually they have a happy face on it or
Those
something
are egg
like that.
pills.
It's
But
Those
dipped
are
in
her
egg
heroin.
friend
It's dipped
that
in
said it
heroin or
had a line.
fentanyl.
It had some kind of line on it or some weird
Yeah,
shit to
it's
her
been
out.
dipped. So back when we were smaller, because I'm 35, but when we were younger, they had what we call those dipped pills. I think Bad Boys 2 talked about it, right?
Hmm.
That's what Will Smith and all of them was down there doing. They were trying to get those X pills that were dipped in
Yeah.
heroin and what we call heroin and opioids back then. They
Hmm.
were doing that shit back then.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But
She
I
told me
mean,
about that today. So it's getting bad. That's why if anybody gonna do anything, don't do that shit. Don't do nothing. Nobody give you. I don't care because it's easy to replace stuff in a capsule. It's easy.
and them
It's
X
so
pills
easy.
have so much stuff in them that I heard people becoming retarded behind that. I would never
But
do an
not
X
just
pill.
that, they're dying now because up here in Ohio, I don't know about other states, but up here in Ohio, fentanyl overdose is running rampant to the point where we got special Narcan
Houston
gloves
too. Houston too.
and everything because it was medical professionals passing out
Mm.
due to overdose because if you touch them, try to provide CPR or
Damn.
anything, you could get poison.
Oh, it's that bad.
Yes.
Now
It is
now
that
it's
bad.
I'm 36. It done gone too far.
There's a
It
bunch
done
of
went too far.
medication that are transdermal, like nitroglycerin, like that
What
paste.
type of
That shit
drug?
you
Yep.
want your blood pressure
But
drop out.
this stuff, like I've been saying, when I was a CNA on a pediatric treatment trauma floor for 10 years, and I used to get trauma patients, gunshot wound patients, young boys. My thing is, I'm from the hood. I'm from Cleveland. I know stuff being planted in the hood? Because I always say this. How can our young black men, for the most part, that can't even afford a burger for $1 on the dollar menu,
Damn.
able to get these guns and be able to kill themselves? You can't. No, they were being planted. You cannot tell me that they just finding them. Just no, they ain't just finding them. They're being put here for a reason. And now the gentrification process has started in my neighborhood where I grew up at.
Mm-hmm.
It has
Well, I
started.
kind of, I kind of, that's kind of good too because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna even lie, like Oak Cliff, South Dallas, white people used to live in Oak Cliff, South Dallas, and even Pleasant Grove. But it seemed like when the white people move out, that's when they start to do what they want to, like everybody. So I
But
think,
why? But most part it's a matter of survival. You gotta think I grew up in the hood. Look, it used to be a time me and my sisters was the lightest things over here, not no more. You got them jogging down the street and you be looking like, lady, do you know where you at? Do you realize where you at? Like it is no, it's not. It's a good thing because they should have been having police that look like us to patrol the community to make sure that it was safe. It shouldn't have to take for them to start moving in back in our communities for them to start caring about the crime rate in our communities.
well, I live in Pleasant Grove, and I mean, they sell drugs at the corner store, they do all kind of stuff. But I moved here for survival because I'm from Mesquite, right? So I was in Mesquite at
Bad too.
Walmart, right?
Hey, y'all, we gonna shorten up the show in a few minutes, y'all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My nigga, you stay off Loop 12, nigga. I stay right. I stay in City Hill, Duncanville. I stay in Arlington now, my nigga. But you stay right off the Loop 12, bad boy.
Man, say Oak Cliff at Pleasant Grove. I remember in the 80s, you still had white people in Pleasant Grove in the 80s, right? Because I grew up in Box Springs and stuff like that. Tell me why I overheard these two white women, right? I have to move out farther because I'm starting to see too many black people. And I'm hearing this, I'm like, really? And these like older white women, like in their 70s and 80s, talking like this.
Are
So I'm
you in
just
the
like,
city part of where you live at?
no, well, I'm from Mesquite and Box Springs, Garland, Pleasant
No,
Grove is kind of
I'm
like
not. I'm
hood.
not familiar. I'm in Ohio. No,
Mesquite,
but what I'm saying,
Mesquite,
Uh,
Mesquite is the poor area of North Texas because
it's a low income suburbs like Box Springs and Seagoville.
yeah,
Like
because
it's low
it ain't like
income.
they try to cut Mesquite off from Plano and Addison and
Yeah, I
Richardson.
understand.
They try to
What
cut them
y'all?
off. Try to cut them off.
But middle class is Garland. But
oh, okay, I got
a lot of black people is moving to Mesquite
you.
now and Box Springs now.
Because they're being
Uh,
made, they're being forced, probably forced, like they are in Ohio. Like,
but
okay,
but that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just asking. I'm just having a question. Is do your the inner? I'll call it the inner city, the place where they want to move to. Is that where the hospitals and all the major highways and freeways are?
Dallas is nothing but a big highway, and it's nothing but a bunch of highway systems. Honestly, uh,
Where's the hospital? Biggest hospital systems
the
at?
biggest hospital system
Uh,
is off of
Parkland, right? No,
and Methodist.
yeah,
Is that where
Parkland,
a lot of
Metro, and
crime, the
Baylor.
crime rate, and the poor people live at
Well,
right now?
Methodist is in Oak Cliff into South Dallas, which is
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of
Mm-hmm.
crime is happening. And believe it or not, there was a black hospital. Black people had a hospital in South Dallas, but it got Margaret Sagan and them
No,
kind
but
of
what I'm
shit.
getting
It
at
got
is a
shut
lot. Is it
down.
a lot of them trying to move up that way?
Well, yeah, well, they starting to fix it up, like off of
Mm-hmm.
Gaston, deep
Mm-hmm.
Ellum. You starting to
Mm-hmm.
see like them
Hey,
come back.
Gentrification.
so check this.
Gentrification.
Have you been to Duncanville lately? Snowden, you been to Duncanville lately?
Duncanville, that's by
Cedar Hill,
that's DeSoto.
DeSoto, yeah.
Well, that's like the Oak Cliff suburbs. Cause
Yeah,
we, my cousin
that's the
stay in
south
Oak
side,
Cliff.
right? That's off C7 South, right? Check this. They rebuilt Red Bird Mall.
They
It,
That
said a
go
white
look at
man will
Go
rebuild
look
it.
at Red Bird Mall now. That bitch looking like the Galleria, man.
For real, because they
that's
said
my
that this
point.
white man had bought the Galleria and fixing it up over there.
That's my point. This is happening every major city in America. It's called gentrification. If you look where your major hospitals at, and you think about where the suburbs used to be at, they're forcing lower income individuals and people on public housing in Section 8. They're forcing them out into the rural areas now
What
because
what
they
white
thought,
people
and they coming
what
back into the city because it's easier access and cheaper to get around to
and
everything.
they got the memo too because they finna start with bringing out these robots and it's easier to because if you live in the cities the robots are gonna be able to deliver your stuff to you your food and stuff to you quicker but it was something okay so these white people are saying some of them that live like in the country out like an hour and a half away from the city they saying but we can go to the inner city buy a cheap house fix it up get whatever we want in it
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
then
That's what's
have more
happening.
privileges because you have more privileges in the city.
It's closer to everything. It's easy access to everything.
Mhm.
That's why they building up everything. You notice in the crime riddle areas, so they can come back down here and they sending us. What I mean by us, mostly melanated. It could be some Caucasian, mostly melanated and lower income individuals. They're sending them out into the rural areas where it's least accessible to transportation and hospitals. They're not stupid. They're doing this on purpose.
But they do have low income housing because okay so they got this place
And how hard is it
downtown.
to get into it?
Well, you can work for them if you like if you don't have nowhere to go, you can work for them for 90 days and the
Hmm.
government give you a voucher. And my friend girl had got this a new apartment downtown by that high school by Pearl
Hmm.
Station. And I said, how she get this? Oh, she got that on housing. So I feel like that if you want to be homeless, that's a choice
I'm not
because
saying homeless. I said watch. That's gonna disappear too. I'm telling you. Watch what I'm telling you.
what happened
And
say
people in the comments, if they think about it, That's what's happening. The crime riddled inner city, lower income areas are getting built up by these hospital systems and colleges and white people, and they're driving lower income people into the rural suburban areas where it's least accessible to transportation, food, and everything. But at first, they thought it was a good thing because the crime rate was lower, but now it's being abundance of lower income people being pushed out there is on purpose, is by design.
Well, I mean, you can get a house on Section 8. Like you can go into that
Yeah,
program
but
on
even that
Habitat for
voucher,
Humanity.
I know people with the voucher here, they're being pushed. It's hard to find houses with that voucher in the
No, no,
inner
Section
city.
8 will help you. No, Section 8 will help you get to start buying a house. I mean, but you have to have good credit and stuff like that. But I
Not in
have
the
a
inner
house in the
city.
city.
Not where I'm from. I'm telling you, it's happening in the suburbs. I'm telling you, they're pushing us to
What?
the suburbs.
Oh, well, maybe so, but like I said, I got a house in the city and I'm keeping it because I already see Dallas is gonna be the number one city in America. They say about 2050, so I'm like, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, Dallas. No, because because Dallas has the most 100,000 heirs. We're beating the rest of the country because 100,000. They're trying to 100,000 and by 20 by like say by like 2040 100 grand to be completely minimum wage. So and Dallas is already beating the rest of the country there.
Hold on, what you mean by heirs? What you talking about heirs?
100,000 heir. Like you have a millionaire, a billionaire. A
Oh,
hundred.
so we got a lot of millionaires in Dallas.
We know that we got a lot of millionaires and we have a lot of billionaires. But if you scale it down, on the trickle down effect, though all those billionaires, all those millionaires created a whole bunch of 100,000 heirs or hundreds of thousand heirs in Dallas too. We have the most. Actually, Dallas has the most. 100,000 heirs or 100. Kevin Samuels and everybody say, "Oh, make 100,000 or more." Dallas is already there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but what area is those billionaires and millionaires consolidated in?
Highland Park.
Was that a crime riddle area for y'all at first?
No, well, it's in the middle, and think of Highland Park in the middle of the city, but this is own city
Exactly.
in the middle
yeah,
of the city, and God knows there's nothing but they just cleared that area out. Yo, hold that tollway that everybody be loving to get on. You got that nice tollway that you can go as fast as you want to. Ferraris and Bentleys and Lambos be on. You know what I'm talking about, Snow? You know what I'm talking about?
are you talking about you talking about which tollway you talking about the one that
I'm
go to
talking about the
Addison?
tollway up there by tollway up there by the medical district downtown Dallas. You know what I'm talking about?
I know
Going
what you're
into Highland
talking
Park.
about. They
See?
go by I know what you're talking about. They go to Addison because
You know
Addison been built up too.
that tollway costs billions of dollars. Who you think bought it? Highland Park, and it takes you right into American Airlines. It takes you right into American Airlines,
Exactly.
Well,
right,
they
right,
finna
Y'all
make
just
a
proved
civil
my point
line.
right there.
Field Airport. You
That's
Well,
what
know,
they
I'm
finna,
talking
you
about.
ain't gonna
Here
even need
in
no car
Cleveland,
in Dallas.
they built a freeway right through the heart of where it's basically the ghetto, and they did it so people could have easier access to our major hospitals from another area. It was not built up for our people, it's built up for them. That's what I'm saying. Y'all just saying the same thing I'm saying. Is if you look around and you think about it, once crime riddled areas is now becoming up and vibrant, and they're starting to build up because they're starting to move in and move us the hell on out.
well, the Rainbow community is also doing it too, because right beside Highland Park is the what they call the neighborhood in Dallas,
Yeah,
and
you
that
talking
shit,
about Cedar Springs? Yeah, the
yeah,
gay
and they
street.
got and it's keep it gangster. I don't care what you want to say about them people. They got some damn money over in that motherfucker.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
that's right by Highland Park by them mansions and stuff. Cause my
It's the
uncle
same like that
girlfriend
over
used to
there.
work there.
It's the same like that everywhere for that, that community. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's like
Key
that.
word though, money.
They over there by a lot of money.
But it's
And
a lot of black people here with money too,
like
though.
over
I
there
don't think so.
in Houston, they over there towards the downtown area with all the damn money. I think some close by the medical field, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken.
Hmm. Think about it. Think about it. They coming back. They need to be near the hospitals, and if in every major city, we call it downtown Cleveland,
Yep.
near the stadiums, near the sports venues in your area, near the hospitals. If you think about it, once crime riddled areas that were around those venues, around those key places in your city. I don't care what city you're in.
Well,
If you think about it, it's starting to be built back up and it's starting to be reversed.
yeah, but yeah,
Right.
you right, mom. You right, but they need to have rich people by poor people because that'll keep. Because you can't have one side rich like Addison and stuff, and then Oak Cliff, and you can't have, So you need to have rich people and poor people living beside each other. It helps the whole system, I believe.
Yeah,
They
it
don't care,
does.
but right now that's why the
It
housing
does.
market is
But
going to
let me tell
crash.
you something. When you do that, that means you have to deal with home breaking ins and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff you got to deal with. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they
but they got,
decide.
but see, hold on. That's gonna stop because they having cameras everywhere. I got cameras, but they got have cameras
Yeah,
everywhere.
but still, it's still the rich and the poor people. They still not going to want to live. The rich people is not going to live around poor people, man.
Mm-mm.
Period. They are
And
not
let's
going to
keep it
want to
real
live
about
around because
cameras.
it's gonna get
Well,
stolen.
Do
well,
you
the
think
universal
do you
income is
think black
expensive.
poor people we really give a damn about cameras? And I'm saying we because
Just like
I grew up in the hood. Do you really think a black person that is trying to get shit, trying to do shit as a means of survival, give a damn about a camera being
Well, you
around?
know what? This is Texas, and you white people just gonna kill you if you up in their house. If you break in their house, they just gonna kill you
Here
and get
too in
you.
look,
Ohio, we'll stand
look,
you ground state.
look. Let me
Well,
tell you something else. It was a dude. I think he worked for Comcast. He was in, he. It was on social media, on internet, on IG. He walked up in it. I guess he was just doing his job, seeing whatever. I guess he had to kind of like walk in the backyard to see. He had his uniform on, his van truck out, and everything. I guess he was trying to find what he had to see, where he can connect to or whatever. I don't know. So old white man just came out with a 38 special about to shoot him out. What are you doing walking in my yard? And I'm talking about that's what things you got to deal with. And these poor people are
well,
all
well,
going to steal what they don't have. Period. We got to
Mm-hmm.
well,
make this shit make sense. You
yeah.
got to make it make sense. You know.
Well, here in that we got a lot of companies coming to Dallas. I know they finna get ready to do these flying cars down here too, flying taxi, Uber, whatever that is. But I,
You sure they gonna do it? Because up here, Ohio is the heart of the automotive trade game. And when I tell you they laying off left and right, Ford done shut down up here pretty much all the Ford and Chrysler plants because
What do you
they
mean
finna go
flying
to
what?
electrical cars.
oh, everything going to electric. It's gonna be electric everything because
Yeah.
of the ozone. But that's after the global. It's gonna be a global currency reset, and then they're gonna use our fourth industrial revolution is coming. AI, artificial intelligence. That's when you're gonna have the humanoid robots. You're
This
gonna have
gonna be
robots.
like the damn Terminator. These people
Oh,
ain't gonna be
they
satisfied
good.
with the
Yeah.
Terminator.
Your Tesla getting their robots ready right now.
They ain't
Yeah.
gonna be satisfied to some shit like the Terminator go down. That's
Well,
what they're gonna be
Tesla is
satisfied.
getting their robots ready to do. They got a YouTube program where they got these soldier robots. Man, let me tell you. I'm
but
telling you, before when
it's
I
stuff
end this
going
live,
on.
I'm gonna end this live in 4 minutes because we gotta go actually in 3 minutes. We gotta go support Just Jay. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go support my sister, you know what I'm saying? Because she always come over and support my
Mhm.
church. So yeah, but these robots, I'm gonna do a show on that, man. I'm gonna do a show about
You
the
need to, Shayla.
robots of what's in the future, the chip, everything what we just got through that right there, man. That this shit is coming real soon. The flying,
It already here
they
because
got the
even in
flying
VA
bikes.
or VA, they got robots distributing medications.
Did you see the flying bike yet? The
Yep.
flying motorcycle. Oh man, that thing, boy. They got the flying bike out. If you ain't seen it yet, go to my channel on Chop TV Sector. I got a video of it on there. That's man.
But all this technology is gonna improve our lives, and
No, it ain't. It's gonna
I know.
destroy shit.
No, it's gonna improve our lives because
I
the
mean,
young
it does.
people.
Technology does improve, but go ahead.
True, and then you gotta understand that black people, that a lot of this technology was made by, started off, of course, but the young people will be in the solar system, flying to the moon and Mars, colonizing that, and that's where we're starting to go because even in China, they're talking about letting it rot because of what's going on with the housing issue over there. So the young people over there, it's like we ain't finna do this mess no more. And even the young people in
Oh
America, we ain't.
hell no, nope, nope. I quit because
Oh,
that shit that's gonna be terminated. See, it ain't even the technology that I'm necessarily afraid of advancing. It's the people behind it. And the people that think they could play with this technology the way they have been and continue to do it, and what I see, hell no, I don't want no robot performing surgery on me. I don't want no robot driving me nowhere. I don't want no robot doing shit for me because robots, just like people, robots could malfunction too. Hell
well,
no, no, and then it
that's
could be
why.
hacked.
But that's why they're going to introduce a universal income. They have to do
Mm-mm.
that because the robots are going to take the warehouse jobs, the cooking, fast food jobs. They're going to take all that, so they have to introduce a universal income. So, but you still going to have to find work because $1,000 a
And
month
I
from the
think
government.
that's going to increase the mental health problem
Well,
because if you
no.
sitting there stagnant with nothing to do,
What it do?
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to do because we're gonna be shooting up into our solar system and shooting up to the gateways, going to the moon and Mars. We're gonna have more
oh,
options.
hell no, I ain't doing that. You can have that. Hell no, nope,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
nope,
Because think about it, we have to do this
uh-uh.
to save our species because
Nope,
like
nope. Forget
Putin,
no. This gonna
but
kill
like
off our
Putin,
species. I have to disagree.
no,
Nope.
this is gonna improve us and make us
This gonna
better
be
because
Terminator. My oldest son is named after one of the characters in the Terminator.
I can't get
Okay,
off of that,
Terminator.
man.
no,
I don't need
no.
no motherfucking
Okay,
machine
then
on
Nope.
Hey,
me.
nurse Fancy.
I
Hey,
okay,
don't
nurse
need
crazy
Fancy.
no.
person like
I don't
Putin.
need
Hey,
none of
hold
that
on,
bullshit.
y'all.
A
Everybody, let me say,
crazy
nurse
person.
Fancy. I got a quick question. I'm on the phone with just me right now, and she
Okay.
was saying that she wanted to get it with you about them
Hold on.
these
Last
essential
resort.
oils.
Last resort for everybody because I'm about to end this live. We
Yeah.
going over to Just J. So everybody that know Just J, make sure y'all go subscribe, go over to Just J TV.
Mm-mm, I quit.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But go
quit.
ahead. Last resort, y'all. Go ahead.
Now I just said I quit. Ain't no way a robot gonna robots stop doing shit. They
I ain't
get hacked.
fall, I ain't
I
falling for
don't
that
trust
Chilling
it.
robotic
zone. That's all
gender
shit.
nonsense. You must be a blind fool. So you're gonna fall for that nonsense. You must be
Mm-mm.
I
blind.
mean, that's what's coming. We
They
ain't
ain't putting
going
no
through this
chip
stuff no
in
more.
me. They ain't doing none of that. You might as well just kill me, okay?
I know that's
$40. You got anything to say before we go out?
That's about it, exactly. I'm gonna head out, Zach, because
$40.
all I was gonna
$40.
say. All I was gonna say is, you know what I'm saying, Nurse P, you know what I'm saying, get up with just me on that essential oil shit. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, we can see what that
Mm-hmm.
business plan do.
Okay, I got you.
Snowden 98. What you got anything to say? Got anything to say?
Man, I'm ready to get to the future. I'm tired of this primitive
Mm-mm.
life.
No
I'm sick of
future.
this
No
primitive life.
future.
Primitive life.
You
All
can
right,
have it.
King of
I'm
Lions,
gonna stay primitive. Have a good one, y'all.
you got anything to say, King of Lions?
Wish people stop believing the lies and agenda by the government and media and stuff. They just use common sense. That's what I gotta say.
All
Straight
right.
up.
All right, well, that's all we got to say. And we will be back on the Chop TV sector. You know what I'm saying? We will be back on the Chop TV sector, man. This was a good show. Snowden, appreciate you coming up. Nurse P, appreciate you coming up. Brenda, she, my boy, oh God, other name. I can't think of other name. Man, y'all know who y'all know who I'm talking about, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for coming up, man. That's how you have a show. Air views, pretty eyes. Salute to Pope Joe Black came in the building. D Dot Service, appreciate the Boot Gang Asia came through. King of Lions, Pastor $40. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Don Play. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Much love. Much Mike Martin. Appreciate y'all for coming through. She, all y'all, Dragon. Appreciate y'all, man. We will be back. Make sure y'all subscribe to the new channel, Chop TV Sector. So I got this strike. Come to find out, I gotta wait till my because I got a community strike. So that's 3 months. I found that out today. But I still will be monetized on my bag up change. Well, all I need is about less than 200 subscribers. Well, 201 subscribers, more subscribers. I need 200 more subscribers for that page. So I should have 200 more subscribers within a week, next 2 weeks or something like that. And we back on track, man. So I'm gonna wind up having, I'll get back with y'all later. But peace and blessings with Hackers.
The pack, proceed with caution. We blowing signs up, we ain't by rah-rah. We see you bye-bye, huh? You try to run, we hit your family, bitch, so I try, huh? Nigga want the bread truck, fuck a loaf. Nigga want the whole cow, fuck a roast. And I keep a bad bitch doing dishes, and I stay on the bad bitch's wish list. Real nigga president, fuck a vote. I made a promise to myself, I ain't going broke. I ain't talking about breakfast. When I say I send a young nigga, I serve a hater with the toast.
I'm about to turn it up, just a notch. I'm about to run it up, a whole lot. I got a lot of hoe on my job. I got a gun on me like a cop. Don't bring no dope to me, listen some blood.
Chop it up. This is Chopping with Shadow, the talk show. And it's the talk show. Chop it up. This is Chopping with Shadow, the talk show. Chop it up. This is Chopping with Shadow, the talk show.